Hey guys, Mike the Bike here, back for yet another video. This time around we're going to be doing another Rust update video. I didn't bother doing one last week because I just felt like there wasn't enough interesting things to point out, but I will summarize what happened last week in this video. But this week was overall a really sweet week. They added a ton of interesting new things, even though they said that it was more of like a balancing week. They certainly did balance out a lot of things, but they also added some very awesome things. Anyways, let's get into it. First things first. New pistol. Oh my god. It looks glorious. Here, I'm going to toss it on the floor so you see a lovely world model. It's beautiful. In terms of what it looks like in someone's hand, it's kind of massive. Let me just do this for you. So you can see, like, it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. It looks like a desert eagle in terms of size. Now, regarding damage and details to it and stuff, it holds 8 rounds in the magazine. In terms of rate of fire, it's slower than the original P250, but it is designed to fill that slot. So it's better than something like a revolver, dealing more damage and stuff. But it's not as good as the original. But here's a quick rate of fire. It feels a little bit inconsistent, and I don't think it's just me, like, being autistic. But yeah, like, that's just how it is. And then compared to the revolve, you can see it's slower and obviously less magazine capacity by 2 rounds. Regarding damage, it's actually really beastly right now. It takes about 2 shots to down like somebody with no armor, which is pretty sweet. So I did some quick tests, and the person had 50 health left after being shot once in the chest. With clothing on, they had 60 health left, so it'll be 3 shots with somebody with clothing. And then with armor, it'll be a lot more, like probably 5 shots. They had 86 health left consistently when they had armor on. So, and by armor I mean a metal chest plate. Interesting enough, headshots actually are not as effective as body shots. You're much better off just going for body shots if they have armor on. Anyways, it's a great pistol. It deals a lot of damage. It still just uses regular pistol ammo. You can put high velocity in there to make it even more OP. And it's just a solid addition to the game. It fills a gap. Before there was no kind of like high-end pistol, and there is one now. I'm still really hoping that they add, like, attachments to pistols soon, because, like, or not just pistols, but guns, because, I don't know, we need, like, I want that red dot and that suppressor on my pistol. Now, the next thing that they added, which is kind of interesting, is dynamic weather. Now, honestly, regarding the weather, it's really cool, but I just couldn't really figure out how to show it to you guys without sitting here for, like, 6 million years. And I just don't have the time for something like that. But basically, it can rain now, and it can snow. It's really sweet. And you are affected by things like the rain and the snow. So, for example, if you're in a winter biome and it's snowing, and you're outside, then you'll get colder quicker than you would be if there was no snow. But it's nice because if you go into a building, then you won't be affected by the rain or the snow at all. So it's cool. Like, you know, you can go to a fire and, like, not feel the damages and things. They added a new piece of armor. It's the road sign armor. It's half as effective as something like a metal chest plate, but it still gets the job done, and it's better than nothing. Better than no armor. As you can see, this is what it looks like. It honestly, I don't like the look of the clothing itself. It looks like it's kind of just floating. Like, it should be more fit onto the actual body. Like, it's kind of too bulky. But it is effective. It'll get the job done. It's obviously a little bit easier to find than metal chest plate. And I might as well cover this too. They added last week this wolf headdress thing. It doesn't do much protection, but it looks cool, and that's about it. You need like a wolf skull to make it, and it looks interesting, I guess. They made bone size for players dynamic, sort of. Not really fully dynamic like something like Arc, but basically there can be variation in things like how tall a person is, or other things, which I'll let you guys discover. I'm going to try to find some people. Okay, so I've got a demonstration here. Hello everyone. Can I ask you all to please take off your pants? Just please, just do it. That'd be great. Okay, so
Look at my 2 penises.
So as you can see, like, this fellow's
Amazing.
is rather small. That one's about the same, honestly. This guy, he's a little bit better. But you know, they added that. Oh, in terms of like height. Hang on, stand still, everybody. And like look like straight up, you know? Yeah. So I'd say like this guy's kind of shorter a little bit than somebody like this. No, that's not what I meant. I meant like right at me, not up. I'm so sorry. Thank you, that's perfect. So like you see this guy's kind of like bigger than this guy. So basically like arm length and thinness and like how bulky you look is sort of random now. They just call it that player bone size is random. And it's the same way random like the skin color is currently, like it's based off your Steam ID. So if you're really like not having a good day, you could buy a new Rust like game and like make a new account, but that's a lot of work and I don't think that's worth it if you actually are that like offended by how you look. But you know, it's an interesting thing to cover. Basically people could be interesting sizes and heights and stuff, and it's random, and you know, it's this whole like equality thing that like it doesn't matter how you look, you know, we're all one, and it's interesting. I mean, sure, if we need the equality thing, go for it, you know. So that's that. So just quick demonstration, nothing too like important or like, you know, the end of the world, but it is very important for rating and it's a big change to the game. So basically before in Rust, let me just quickly set this up. When you place down a C4 charge like this, if I'm not autistic, here we go. So I toss the C4 and it's gonna blow up, assuming things are normal one day. Eventually, please. Jesus Christ, it's like 5 minutes. Okay, so normally in the older version of the game, like last week, the C4 charge would do damage to not just this wall, it would do damage to this wall and the wall over here and maybe the foundation. So that's basically called splash damage. But now they made it so that the damage only does damage to the wall that you place the C4 on. So you'll notice to place C4 on this wall, it's going to do damage to nothing but this wall. So if I place C4 on this one, you'll see the health of this one will be the same. So you see this is at 250 or 225. This is also 225. I'm happy for this change. It's much more like legacy, and I'm overall quite happy with the change. Some changes to building. They changed some balancing stuff, which I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to try to keep it interesting. But you can now, 10 minutes after placing something, you can remove it or demolish it. I can't really show this to you because I'm an admin, I could do it anyways, but pretty well, if you place something down and within 10 minutes you have a sincere regret of placing that thing down, you can right click and it'll remove it, and I believe it'll give you your resources back. Okay, it won't, no, never mind, you lose everything, pretty sure. And then also this is the same now for rotating objects, so if you remember, you used to, like, obviously they have sides, and you can only do something like this 10 minutes after the object has been placed. Whereas before, it used to be you could just do this like 10 minutes or an hour or like 6 years. Like, it didn't really matter, but now it does. This is something that I don't really care a whole lot about. I don't think many people do. But they also added farming to the game last week. And I'm not going to go to the details of it because, again, I want to keep things more interesting and I don't want you to get bored. But they added farming, and you find like plants on the ground and you can pick them up and then you eat them and you get seeds. You place the seeds in the ground, you like equip it, you left click, and it's gonna grow there like over time, and if it's raining it'll grow faster and stuff like this. And you can get food, but I don't think many people care about it. The thing that people do care about is that you can make a pumpkin hat. Basically the thing that you can grow. You can eat this or you can put it on your head. I think we obviously know the smarter thing to do here. Okay, lots of quick things to cover. Like, again, this was a solid week. The code lock is now a default blueprint. I like this a lot. This means that you don't have to join a custom server to get code lock, and it was just too much work to get something so simple as a code lock, which is excellent. Crouching is now an effective way to assault people. Wow, crouching is actually silent, if you can hear that. So when you crouch, like normally you can hear myself running a boat, and but crouching is legit silent. So you can full on just assault people like silently. So that's an effective thing to do. They also got rid of this awful thing where there was this like ghost walking thing when you stopped walking, but that seems to be gone, which is great. Oh, they added a solid feature for when you're looting a box or anything, like it could be a body or whatever. You can quick loot stuff instead of going like this and like you're being attacked by somebody but you're looting a body or whatever real quick for medkits. You can just right click and it quick loots it, like it does it without you having to do any work. So it's a lot better for like if I have a lot of things I have to pick up, I just right click, you know, instead of having to drag them all like I used to. This is so much more intuitive and just easy. They also improved the UI of the furnace, which is great. Before, to turn it on and off, you had to go out of the inventory and then go like this, whereas now you could do it inside the inventory of the furnace. They changed some other things like how things stack and stuff. I'm not gonna bother talking about that. One thing that I don't know how many people care about this because grenades aren't really used often, but before grenades were like so like terrible. Like you threw it like it was like 50 pounds or something, like a massive boulder. But now they made it so grenades throw farther, thank God. Before it was like ridiculous. Can we sprint run it now? Let's see, can we still do that? Yeah, so you can sprint and throw it, it's a little bit better. It's something that I think is interesting, but grenades really aren't used very often right now for some reason. The gunshots from far away, they also just changed those. So this is a custom SMG. You can see that they sound different as I get further away. It actually sounds a lot beefier and bassier. I think it sounds better from a distance, honestly. Yeah. That's good enough, thank you very much. This is something that I think is a fantastic addition and just makes it less annoying. Every time you fail at guessing this code lock, you lose 1 health. I'm in God mode because like fellows like these are going to assault me, but
say hello to YouTube.
Basically, yeah, when you, instead of like somebody just spamming at your code lock, they'll deal or get dealt 1 health. Or like they'll take 1 damage, which is great. It means less spamming, which is fantastic. Okay, the bolt action got an improvement on the sights. Before they were kind of off, it's true, but I mean if you shot at a wall you would discover this. Whereas now it's a little bit more balanced so that if you line them up, well here, let's use the scientific test. It's really annoying, like they said a long time ago that if you like, it doesn't auto-reload the bolt anymore. Like if you shot, then it won't auto-reload. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think that feature actually works. Like I've never seen anybody actually successfully do it. I've tried so many different configurations. Like they seriously need to actually fix that, because I thought it was a sick feature, but it's not in. Oh, they affected or changed the bullet velocities on everything except incendiary and explosives. So all bullets fire a little, or 30% faster, which is nice. This makes combat a little bit snappier, basically. Some balances to the shotgun and the SMG. This thing now has like a crazy rate of fire. And I believe it does a little, 20% more damage, too. So this thing's legit. This thing, each pellet does, I think, like 5% more damage than before, which is good because this thing was a little weak with pellets. And the final thing for this week, which I could show you, but I'm too lazy. Quarries are now less, like, pointless. They give you 3 times more resources than they did in the past, and they give you resources every 5 seconds instead of 6 seconds. So basically, they're worthwhile to use, whereas before they weren't really that useful. Anyways, I know this is like a bulky Rust update, and this will probably be longer than the last one. I tried to keep these things as quick and to the point as possible, like only cover things that I find interesting. In terms of the highlights, I'd say the pistol is a big deal. The new weather and clouds and stuff is pretty sweet. The bone size, I guess, is like a nifty little thing. I don't know how much it's going to affect me. Also, the damage to the buildings is a big deal. That'll change rating a lot. It'll be harder to raid somebody, like... which is a good thing, because it was a little bit too easy. And apart from that, they just balanced and improved a lot of the things that were kind of broken before. Anyways, that's going to be the end of this one. As always, please let me know if you like this series. You guys are the reason I keep it going. I really like making the videos, and you guys seem to respond to them positively, which is good. Regarding my server, it's honestly hasn't changed too much. We changed the seed for the map every week now instead of like every 3 weeks. So it's a different experience every week, which is good. And we got a few more admins now, so like we have them in different time zones too. Like so there's some Europe ones, there's some North America ones, and it's much better. But yeah, the server just keeps rolling along. I mean, we have donator kits, and the donators are what keep the server running. It's fantastic. And we buffed those a little bit because people didn't see the incentive. And I mean, the server is what it is. If you want to join, as per usual, go onto servers, go to the modded category, search up Viking, and there's my server. There's a few now. There's 4 instead of 3. Interesting. And yeah, that's basically it is regarding the server. And that's the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, and if you want more, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.